In this video, Nez Nation, I'm going to be talking about ways in which you can stop anxiety and overthinking and go back to clear-headedness and being your normal self and enjoy your life. Those of you that know who I am and you know a little bit about my background, you understand that I've gone through debilitating anxiety and depression in my youth, especially from the ages of 18 to 29, where it literally seemed like every single day was hell. And a brand new hell was being conspired by this thing in here. I'm going to talk to you about some ways in which you can just really apply right now tactical, beneficial, practical tools that you can use right this very second to combat this machine inside your ears, between your ears, that is an endless thinking cyclone. It's just a conveyor belt of thought after thought after thought, and how you can quell that, okay? So the first thing that I want to tell you is, don't try to stop overthinking. Don't try to stop this thinking machine. I don't know if you know this or not, but the average human being has over 50,000 thoughts per day. That sounds insane, doesn't it? But believe me, that's how many you have. This is backed by science. Plus, I counted every single one. Okay, I'm kidding. 50,000 thoughts per day. What does that tell you? This is a thinking machine. That's its only job. Just like the heart, its only job is to beat and pump blood. The thing between your ears, the ultimate mainframe computer. I mean, literally, it's the supercomputer, the most complex instrument in the entire universe. No other computer on the planet Earth, as of this recording, can come even close. If you're watching this in 3017 or 3018, let me know. You should have something that comes close. Well, let me know. I won't be around. Don't try to stop. Okay, when you're in that throe of panic, when you're in the sort of, in the actual, hell, the storm of overthinking and anxiety, you have this compulsion, you go into what's called fight or flight, and you have this compulsion to kind of distract yourself or tell yourself stop or don't ever do this. Some people have this little rubber band thing on their hand, and they actually, somebody, I don't know who came up with this asinine idea where you snap the rubber band and it's supposed to stop the thinking and take your mind off of it. That's all absolute garbage. Don't be a policeman of the mind. That's its job, is to think thoughts. How you can quell this, how you can stop the sort of inferno and that momentum, because once that momentum gets cooking, it gets really, I know the feeling. It's the most debilitating feeling a human being can ever go through. Don't try to stop your thinking. Don't try to stop the anxiety. You don't give it any interest. Don't give it any importance. Don't give it any significance. This is tantamount to your success. Just watch. Just watch the thoughts without getting attached to them. Let them come and watch as they go, because they will go. It will always subside. That's the nature of a thought. A thought's job is to come and go. No thought stays here unless you align it with your interest. You align it, you put importance. So what do I mean by this? Align it with interest, align it with importance. When you have a thought, right? So a thought comes, you're going to die, or sometimes panic attacks come in these asinine, phantasmagorical thoughts that come out of nowhere. Or the thought that, you're not good enough, or the thought that you're too ugly, or the thought that you're never going to succeed. That thought comes, and what happens is you start to think about that thought. So you have more thoughts that think about the thought, because you're alerted to it in that fight or flight mode. You're alerted to the presence of that thought. And by you paying attention to it and giving it so much interest, it sticks. It starts to stick, and it starts to revolve in this really, debilitating cycle. And it comes again and again and again, and even to the point where your alert is so on red alert about this thought that it can consume you all day. It can consume you all evening. So you let the thought be there. Don't try to fight it. One of the things that I think it was Einstein who said this, you never want to try to solve a problem when you're in that state of mind that started the problem in the first place. So when you're feeling anxiety, when you're feeling that overthinking, when it's starting to hit you and the momentum is building and it's like this freight train that's out of control, the first thing to do is just take a step back and don't try to do anything. Just remain quiet. I know that sounds counterintuitive. Trust me on this. Try this right now and leave it in the comments below whether it worked or not. And also, by the way, If you have some great tactics, if you have some great tips, if you have something that's worked for you to quell anxiety and to stop overthinking and stop anxiety, leave it in the comments below. I want to hear it. And we could share with this great community here, and we can all help each other. I'm sure it'll be, great advice and great tips. We want to hear them. I know I want to. So don't try to stop it. Don't try to be a policeman of the mind. Let it come and let it go. You just watch it without putting so much interpretation on whether that thought has importance, without putting so much significance. Because what happens is when the thought arrives, and it can be a very scary thought, whatever shape or form it manifests in, we start to interpret, well, what does this mean? What does this thought mean? Does this mean that maybe I am too ugly, or maybe I am going to die, or maybe I should go? And it just compounds. That's where that overthinking, that's where that anxiety hellfire train out of hell starts to gain speed and gain momentum. It seems like you're almost losing your mind. The desire to not want a thought, the desire to, oh my gosh, why did I think this thing? Oh my gosh, why can't I stop that? This resistance is the fuel that keeps that overthinking barrage, that overthinking assault, it keeps it going. It keeps it fueled. It keeps it juiced. And it seems like this endless marathon, this endless labyrinth that you can't get out of. So the first thing you need to do is take a step back. Just take a couple of very deep breaths through the nose. Hold it for a couple of seconds. And exhale slowly through your mouth. If you do that 3 times, I promise you that's better than any pill on the planet. Watch these thoughts with detachment, with objectivity, impersonally. Don't take these thoughts personally, okay? They come from God knows. Don't identify with these thoughts, okay? I know that sounds kind of weird. Well, what do you mean? Aren't I thinking the thoughts? No, the thoughts are coming out of the blue. They're completely random. You watch the thoughts, okay? Watch them with detachment. Watch them with impersonality, and they will leave a lot quicker than they came. If you think about how many thoughts you have a day, and you think about the ones that stick and the ones that don't, why are the ones that are sticking? What is their impetus for staying? What is the reasoning behind their, insistence? You have to look at that closely. It's your resistance to them. It's your resistance to them. You have the power. A thought cannot live on its own without you being there first. Who are you? You need to discover this. So, not to get too into that, and I have an entire mindset mastery playlist I highly recommend. I'll leave that in the cards up above, and you can click on that, the mindset mastery, where I really go in depth. I do a lot of live streaming about this as well. But I just wanted to share that one quick kind of, concept with you. I haven't really done a mindset video on anxiety and overthinking in this kind of context before, and I think it's really important, especially, during times where it seems like all you do is overthink, all you do is worry, and it seems like anxiety is just haunting you everywhere. Let me know if this helps. Let me know. I only want to give experiential, advice or experiential tutelage. I don't want this to be intellectual. You need to be able to taste this. You need to be able to experience this for it to plant roots in you and to have some kind of lasting life beyond these videos, beyond these, pointings, beyond these talks that we have. I love these conversations. I want to see you here all the time. I want you to come back time and time again, but I also want you to put these to good use. You have the power. Don't ever forget this. You have the power, not the thought, not the anxiety. The anxiety can't live without you being there first and without you giving it so much interest and interpreting it as something significant and identifying this must be true because I'm thinking it. This must be the most liberating day I've ever had in my entire existence. I'm telling you right now, this is the crux of everything, Nez Nation. The most liberating day I ever had was the day that I finally realized I don't have to take this guy seriously. I don't have to take any thoughts seriously. As a matter of fact, I don't have to take anything. I have the power to decide what has significance and what doesn't, not the other way around. Now, who is this I? I don't want to get woo-woo. I don't want to get too deep. Check out my Mindset Mastery playlist and you'll find a little bit more about that. I think that, and again, I'm anchored in reality, anchored and grounded, teachings and grounded tactics that you can use immediately. There's nothing theoretical about Professor Nez. There's nothing theoretical about Nez Nation. I want you to put this stuff to use. As always, thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me when you guys watch my videos, especially when you comment. I love hearing your comments. I love hearing your feedback. What do you do to stop overthinking and anxiety? How do you quell anxiety? How do you stop worry and overthinking? Let me know in the comments below. I read all the comments. I try to reply to all of them. It's Professor Nez, y'all. I'm doing this for you. We bring it every single week. If you haven't already as well, check out my podcast. I'm going to leave that in the link description below. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and we'll see you guys next time, okay? Thank you so much.